In sports, if you want to be the best, there are no off days.
Welcome into the No Off Days podcast. Last time I saw my co-host here, he had a flop sweat and a really concerned look in his eye because he had just consumed 2 raw quail eggs. Can you give our viewers at home an update as to your status? What happened?
They are no longer in me. I can tell you that.
There we go.
It's been a week, I think, since I quaffed those quail eggs. Tasted awful again, by the way.
Yeah.
Had a very.
You mentioned the aftertaste.
Yeah, a seafoody aftertaste. I continued to taste that the rest of the night.
Yeah.
No amount of whiskey or anything I drank could take it out of me. And then I had weird dreams that night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like fun weird or?
No, weird, not fun.
Boy.
Like
okay.
Maybe I laid an egg at one point in my dream.
All right.
And then I had a little plume of feathers up my head.
But did you get it was straight protein. Did you get an energy boost?
I did. All of my hair grew back.
It looks great.
Acne completely cleared up.
Nice.
And, you saw this. I got one of my co-anchors, Haley Hines, to drink a raw quail egg on live TV.
Yeah, that was live TV.
Yeah.
And I looked into her eyes, and you at least, when you did it, I didn't think you were going to throw it up because it looked like it just went straight down.
Right.
With her, it looked like she held it in the mouth for a minute and thought about it. And I was really concerned that something bad could happen.
Yeah, she's still mad at me.
Yeah. Well, she did it. She's a champ.
Yeah.
But even though you weren't a champ for doing, although we do have a U.S. Open is coming up.
Oh, great.
So I don't know. It's at Oakmont. I don't know if that's outside of Pittsburgh. I don't know if there's any
birds associated with that.
Eat some oak trimmings
I
from
don't
an
know.
oak tree. I don't know.
Eat a squirrel. They probably got those there.
There we go. That'd be fun. Well, welcome into the No Off Days podcast. With that, let's bring in BK because we got a busy show to get to today. Action pack, a lot of in studio visitors, from what I understand.
Well,
they're all backed up in the green room.
It's fun when they're all in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to start off with 2 of our friends, Donovan and Aaron Jacobsen from WDAE, the Pat and Aaron show in the mornings.
Friends of the show, right?
Yeah, they are friends of the show.
Third time on? Second time?
It's got to be, at least. Yeah.
Good guys. We'll talk to them. It's you start my day every single day listening to these guys, even before I get my coffees. Pat and Aaron.
They're funny, and so I think they're always down to clown, and they also have their finger on the pulse of our sports scene here. So we'll be talking some.
And I
Bucs and Rays with
think
them.
Pat lost some bet and had to shave his beard. So I'm kind of curious.
Really?
Yes, I'm curious to see what
we get to see what's under there.
Yeah.
Well, he might be self-conscious about that. I don't know if we want to bring that up. Okay. All right. Very good.
Into the show, I have no idea.
Okay. Can I tell you?
You can tell me.
Okay. So you do know Mark Skol Jr., the newest member of the Fox 13 Sports Department.
Good guy, great guy.
Hired him. It was a very competitive job. Okay. So we had a lot of really good candidates. And so at the end of the day, I just decided I'm going to go with the tallest guy.
Yeah.
And that's what we ended up doing. So Mark he's a skyscraper. But we're going to get to know him a little bit, and I've constructed a game that we're going to play at the end. I know BK normally is the one that comes up with the games, and they're very good. So I guess you can grade my game by the end of the show and let me know.
You gave BK the week off, though. He's got to appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks,
he looks so refreshed. All right. Very good. We will catch up with you then at the end of the show, BK. If you're listening and you want to watch, go to fox13news.com/NODPOD. If you're watching and want to listen or subscribe, you can take out your phone, zap that QR code. It'll send you to our show page. We invite you to subscribe to the podcast in audio form. And if you do, leave a 5-star, we'd ask. fox13news.com/NODPOD. All right, off season, but college football is dead square in the middle of the headlines this week as we have, SEC Media Day going on up in Destin.
You're right.
Big
Not
Ten
media days. I think it's SEC
conference, whatever they call it. Yeah. So, but big decisions are being had, major discussions, and it all centers around the playoff format. So we know that this year, 2025, it's going to be a 12-team playoff still. They did change this, much to my pleasure. They have changed it now to where the conference, you got the top 5 highest ranked conference winners still getting an automatic qualification. They're still getting an automatic bid into the playoff, but they don't get the automatic bye, which I think, I think we both agree, right?
We said that was confusing when you saw, Arizona State's ranked 12th, but they get a bye, and so it looked a little weird.
So basically, you still get rewarded for winning your conference, which is good. We still want to have some value to the regular season, but at the end of the day, we want to see the best teams that are mostly agreed upon get those buys. All right.
So now they're going to straight seed, right? Just 1 through 16, whatever your ranking is, that's where you're seeded.
Right, which would have changed a lot. It would have been it would have put Texas in as a first round bye.
Right.
It would have put there's somebody else I'm missing. Penn State, I think, would have had a first round bye.
Yeah.
So it would have changed, and it also changes home field too, right? So, but now we're moving into we're already moving on to 2026 because there's a lot of discussion about expansion, and it's pretty much going to happen. It's really a question of whether it's going to be a 14-team playoff or a 16-team. Sounds like a lot of the momentum is leaning toward the 16-team, which I'm all for. But the formats here that are being kind of floated are one I'm in total agreement, but there's another one that is very concerning to me. So they have a 5-11 model. I like this model, okay? So it's pretty much what you have in the 2025 12-team playoff. You have 5 automatic qualifiers, the top-ranked 5 conference winners. They're going to get in, and then you have 11 at large.
Okay.
To me, it makes total sense. I don't know why you got to tinker with it, but the problem in this 16-team playoff format is that now you have teams like out of the SEC, most notably, saying, well, this is going to impact whether or not we have 8 or 9 conference games. If we only have 9 conference games, that's one more potential loss on our schedule. And so we want some type of automatic qualifier, they're suggesting, if we want 4 automatic SEC teams in.
4 auto bids for the SEC, and the Big Ten is on board with this too.
Right, and those are the 2 conferences that are that have in 2026 they have taken control of the CFP. So last spring they had a vote, and they had 10 FBS conferences vote along with Notre Dame, and they said we are ceding control over to the SEC and the Big Ten as a way to appease the Giants and say,
so that you won't take any more of our schools out of our conferences.
Right.
Yeah.
You can control the format moving forward and starting in 2026. Now, here's the other format that we kind of hinted to. So it's there's a lot of numbers. 442213. All right, you can do the math on that. That it adds up to 16 teams. But essentially, as you mentioned, you got 4 automatic bids from the SEC and the Big Ten. You got 2 automatic bids from the ACC and the Big 12, and then you have a group of 5 automatic bid, and then you have 3 at large. So my frustration with these, when you're tying in automatic bids like this, I like rewarding conference winners because it gives value to the regular season. But if you then have automatic spots for these conferences, most of the time they're going to fill them, right?
Yeah.
So to me, it only hurts you when a team is not deserving. Because just because you have 4 automatics doesn't mean that they couldn't get then the other 3 at large, right? If the SEC has 7 teams that are worthy of getting in, 4 automatic qualifiers, then they get the other 3 at large bids, fine. But it only hurts the product when you don't have 4 teams, which I know it's hard to conceive of the Big Ten or the SEC not having 4 teams.
There have been some years where the Big Ten didn't have 4.
But that's my problem. And I know that everybody's trying to protect their own little piece of grass here, and they're trying to protect their own interests. And the SEC, for the most part, wants to get as many SEC teams in as possible, and the Big Ten. But for people that don't really have a dog in the hunt from a conference standpoint, you just want the best. You want the best product.
Teams.
You want the most deserving teams. And I think they just, at the end of the day, they don't trust the committee's ability to pick the best teams, and they feel like they're going to be inclined to pick teams based on their record.
Yeah, right.
How many wins or how many losses base it on that, rather than, hey, they may have 3 losses, but this team is very good, and maybe they had an injured quarterback in this game or whatever the deal might be. So I don't know. I'm throwing that out there to you to say, do you have a favorite? Do you like the 5-11 or the 4 and a bunch of numbers?
I'd prefer the 5-11. I don't see why Greg Sankey, SEC commissioner, would go along with this auto bid model, go along with the Big Ten on it, because I think that's going to limit the SEC. I think more years than not, he's going to have more than 4, and maybe as many as 8 or 9 that he would want to get in. So I'm kind of surprised that he would go along with that. And when it comes to what you said about the college football playoff committee and how many times we've seen them just reward teams for having one loss, or they just look at the record more so than how the games are played out on the field. I think this could be, based on everything that these commissioners are saying, these conference commissioners, and what we're hearing at the SEC meetings, this could be the last year that we see this college football playoff committee. I think they're going to move to something like what they do with the NCAA basketball tournament. And there's still some human input, but it's almost back to the BCS, where computer formulas are taking a lot of this data and determining those 16 teams that get in. Now, what I would like to see, if we're doing this 16-team thing and these two power conferences are having 4 auto bids, I want to see some type of play-in for that. Because I think you're right that the conference championship still needs to mean something. So I would like to see SEC or Big Ten have their 2 top-ranked teams play in their conference championship game. Okay, you guys are your 2 of our auto bids.
You make it to the championship game, you're in.
Then I want to see a play-in between your 3 through 6 seeds.
And that is one of the things that is being floated in this format with the automatic qualifiers, the 4-4-2-2-1-3, is that you would have then on championship weekend, it's not just your championship teams vying for the conference title. It's then your 3 and your 6 seed. Or whatever it is, however they do it.
3 play the 6,
and then a 4 versus a 5.
Yeah.
And so they play. I like it because it feels competitive. It feels like another tournament within a tournament. But I think it complicates matters just way too much. And at the end of the day, much like this last year, where at the end of we wanted to figure out a way, how can we reward conference winners and still expand our playoff and have that mean something and have the regular season mean something. And at the end of the day, it became convoluted, and you get Arizona State and Boise State getting first-round byes. I think that the more of this that we get in this playoff format, it's just going to be worse. It's going to be worse, and we're going to have more confrontation at the end of the season, say, this team didn't deserve it, this team, when it's just give me 5 automatic qualifiers, you win your conference, top 5 ranked, then you're in, and then everybody else is at large. And if that means one year you're going to have 8 teams in the SEC make it in, then that's what it is. Yeah. And to the best team win. And they're also, part of the issue here is that with that 4-4, I hate
2-2,
we got to come up with a better name. Is that they have a spot that's reserved for Notre Dame? Like if Notre Dame cracks the top 6 team, right? Then they get one of the automatic 3 at large bids. Where it's like just get in the conference already. Can we
maybe
do that?
One year they'll get it right.
Well, anyway, their deadline to figure this all out for 2026 is December 1st. So get to it, gentlemen. We got time to figure out the solutions for college football. All right, coming up on the other side, we're going to talk a little bit of Bucs football as well as Rays baseball. We got Pat and Aaron from WDAE, our guests on the NODPOD, next. They are the tag team host of the Pat and Aaron Show. You can catch them mornings on 95.3 WDAE 620. It is Pat Donovan and Aaron Jacobsen. Was there ever a fight for the Aaron and Pat Show? How did that ever transpire, or did you immediately
It doesn't sound good, you know that.
People are always like, why wasn't it Aaron? Because it's Aaron,
Alphabetically.
Pat.
Yeah.
I said, it just flows. I didn't fight. Okay. I didn't fight. I used to be his board op, and then I just shimmied my way onto the air.
Oh, there we go.
That's how I got
You're
onto
the
this
understudy.
podcast.
Yeah.
I brought Scott's coffee, but you'll notice there's only one name that's on our show.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah. What's the most irritating thing that your co-host does? Do you guys have
Oh, wow.
pet peeves?
He used to floss in studio, and
Oh, wow.
I hated it. I
Like
hated
the
it.
full-on
do.
string or the
No,
individual
the
flossers?
individual.
Well, that's-
Probably have
not-
one in my pocket.
That's not too bad.
Would you
Please
do it
don't
over
do
the
it.
mic, though, like this, and then there's bits of food all over the...
Yeah, like I'm appreciative that he has good dental hygiene.
He's got one.
Look at him.
Yeah,
He's got
always
one in his
like-
He's a man prepared.
You can save
give
it
him
for
that.
when you go to the bathroom.
Okay.
So yeah, that's I had that right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready to
Does he
go.
do anything that gets under your skin?
Yeah, he just looks at me funny the whole show, right? Like waiting,
Just like a disapproving
waiting for
father?
me to make a mistake. So
Yeah.
he's like, oh, well, and so I try not to look at him during the show.
Nice. Is there a sports debate that you guys will always be diametrically opposed on?
Basically, Scotty Scheffler being a thug. You know what I mean? Like any other guy in sports runs over a cop with his car, and we know that
Okay.
the conversation that'll be had. And some reason, Scotty Scheffler got away with it.
Good man.
He's a good man.
He's a
good
winner.
All right. Let's jump into this. It's baseball season. We're 60+ games into the season now. Is this Rays team going to make the playoffs?
Okay, they're around 500. and that's a 500 team.
They're working their way up.
That's it. They've gotten hot.
The current trajectory is good.
Yeah, they've gotten red hot. Are they a playoff team? Do they look like it? Not right now, but they're getting pieces back.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are going to be coming back. Guys have come back. Josh Lowe just came back. He's hitting the ball. Brandon Lau's hitting the ball now. So Shane McClanahan, maybe we'll get him back on the bump. He's starting to throw the ball. If you get the pieces back and everything aligns, everything has to align, they have a chance. But I know the man sitting right here will tell me I'm crazy.
I won't say you're crazy. I'll say that a good portion of the season has not been as fun as I'd like it to be as a Rays fan. Yeah. The last week or so has been very fun, and I like what they're doing. And I'm hopeful they can continue to do it. But I'm not necessarily, at this point, expecting them to do it, right? Like, I'm hopeful that we can continue to have a lot of fun watching this team, but I think they're probably around a 500 team. I don't see them in the playoffs personally.
I think Pat thinks winning is fun. I think that's what I got
Yes.
out of this.
Yeah.
Winning
It is
is fun.
fun.
It does. They still feel a bit razy, though, don't they? In the fact that sometimes for a week the bats just won't work, right? It still feels like a lot of that, right?
Pitching, defense. They're built on pitching and defense. That's what drives them. And sometimes the bats, they fall asleep. Sometimes they go dead, and then they come back alive. The problem is the AL East, with the Yankees doing what they're doing, and I assume they're going to continue to do it, you got a big problem there. But what's been good for the Rays so far is everyone else in the AL East stinks. This division, which is typically very, very good, is not so good. They're middle of the pack this year. And for the Rays, maybe they don't win the division, but maybe they can get a wild card spot if some of the other teams falter in the AL.
When you said this, they're very Raysy, I kind of thought you meant like we'd be sitting around going, who's that guy again? Where did he come from? How long's he been here? And
Well, that's true, too.
yeah, unfortunately.
Do you guys feel like with the Steinbrenner experience so far, how do you feel that's going? And do you feel like that this is going to have any impact on, I guess my question is, the right people stepping up and saying, hey, this playing in Tampa thing is working. Let's make that our future goal.
I think it's hard because anyone who's been to it, especially a day game, it's hot. And I don't want to we will always come up with an excuse. I know that. But right now, we're talking about, it's not even June, July, August. It's not even the hottest it's going to be. And it's brutal out there. So does it work in Tampa? Will it work? I think so. The dimensions of the stadium are really bizarre. We're seeing balls that like pop fly balls that opponents have struggled to get to the balls. Rays players have struggled, but maybe they're figuring it out because the Rays have been better at home lately. So maybe it's a good thing now.
Yeah, foul territory, smash into the wall. That's kind of the sequence of events. Maybe a further down the road question is, if you guys had to put your money on it, where is this team playing next year?
Next year, I think it's the Trop.
You
I
think
really
they're
do.
gonna have it ready?
I think they find a way. Even if they got to be a little creative at the beginning of the season and do a couple of, like, move some stuff on the road or do a couple of series at Steinbrenner or some other minor league ballpark as they're putting the finishing touches. I think, if not all of, I think the vast majority of next season will be at Tropicana Field.
Well, where are they playing in 3 years?
That's a much better question. It's a much better question.
More difficult question.
Yeah.
We've heard so many things. We've heard there's money in Tampa. We've heard there's money in Orlando. We've heard there's money in Nashville. It's that and the other thing. It's hard to predict where they're going to land. If I had to put my money on it, I would say they're going to build somewhere in Tampa.
Yeah.
It will work. The money will come together. The people will come together.
The secret people. That's what they'll come out from their burrows.
They're hiding in those Ybor City underground tunnels
They're
right
heavy
now.
pockets. Yeah.
A lot of gold hidden in there.
My dream.
Somewhere.
Go ahead.
I know at least 30 people that know someone who's already bought the team already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Tom Brady's in on it too, right?
yes, and several other people that we know and don't know.
I had a preseason dream of having the ALCS be the A's against the Rays, simply so we could have back and forth series between Sacramento and Steinbrenner Field. That would have just been glorious. But yeah, that's probably not going to happen. But it's an exciting season so far. At least the stretch they're in right now, they seem to have kind of reversed that curse at home. Coming up on the other side, we're going to get these guys to stick around because we're going to talk a little NFL football. Those Buccaneers OTA practices underway this week over at $1, and we'll dive into that coming up on the NODPOD. Welcome back to the No Off Days podcast. We are back with our guests. This is at least the third time you guys have been on the show. Pat and Aaron from the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. And whenever you're on a second time, you become friends of the show. We quickly move into the friend zone.
Are we family now?
Yeah,
Well, no, now you are actually eligible for the Ring of Dignity.
Wait, tell them what friends of the show how do you abbreviate that? Friends of the show, it's...
Oh, yeah, FOD. So it's the
Yeah,
NODPOD
you're
FOD.
the NODPOD
But now
FODs.
you're up potentially for the NODPOD ROD, which is the NODPOD Ring of Distinction. It's kind
What
of
do
like
I
the
got to
Bucs Ring of
do?
Honor.
Do I got to go crazy?
Well, we have one. There's only one entry right now, and that
Who
would
is
be Ira Kaufman.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to be the committee that votes on it. So as long as he wants to expand it to other people, then we'll
I feel like we don't get the nod from Ira just yet. We're talking about a guy
Very fitting.
who-
He's very fitting.
Well, listen, that's what we're talking about a guy who puts people in line to go into a Hall of Fame. So his standards they've got to be high, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like
And
based
I think
on
he
those
probably
standards,
wants
we
to-
don't really fit the bill
Yeah,
yet.
he wants to bask in the
Sure.
globe being the only entry
True.
at this point. It's a very weird shaped ring.
Is
Anyway,
Buccaneer John on like the fringe of getting it?
I don't. Has he been on the podcast?
Wait, who's that?
Buccaneer John.
No, I don't think he's been on the podcast.
Don't bring him up.
He's gone silent for me.
He's gone silent for us,
Yeah,
too.
it's sad,
There's
actually.
something going on there.
All right, let's talk a little Bucks. Speaking of, all right, so Jason Light, his 2025 class. If it were a meal, would it be what meal would it be? Would it be? Was this a filet mignon class? Was this a hamburger helper class? How
No,
would
it's
you guys?
it's somewhere in the. What's a hamburger helper?
You've never had a hamburger?
Makes a
helper?
great meal.
Come on.
What is it?
Hamburger.
What do you eat in
It's-
college?
It's like noodles. It's like a casserole.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it comes
Sounds
in a
delicious.
packet.
It's
and-
tasty, but it's cheap, right?
This is my co-host.
You know, I'd probably love that though.
Oh, you would love hamburger helper. You would.
So it's above hamburger helper. Now that I know what it is, it's not quite the filet mignon. Oh man, it's like a
Low-end charcuterie board?
maybe even high-end charcuterie
Okay.
board. Like it's a good job. It wasn't like the best draft, but I thought it was a solid job. Jason Light, I think, always does a great job, and he gets better and better. You don't do the job that he does for over 10 years and stick with it without being good at it.
Yeah.
It's a tasting menu.
Okay.
It's a tasting menu, and the appetizer comes out first, and you go, "This is not what I expected for the appetizer. I had a lot of things in mind, and this
But you
was
just
not
wait.
it, Emeka Buka. This was not what I was expecting to get first." And it's as you go through the course, you're like, none of this is kind of what I was expecting in this order, but now that I'm having it, and now that I've kind of really tasted it, I really love this menu.
I don't like what you did because you've given him the food analogy. And now he's like Hall of Fame worthy. Ira's going to put him right
It's
in.
pretty good. I don't know. Can I separate you two?
I wish I could.
Yeah,
One gets in.
you have to.
So I was thinking baked ziti. I think this is a baked ziti because baked ziti is one of those dishes that it's not fancy and nobody really desires it on the menu, but it's always the show stealer on the table. I'd be like
Show stealer?
Yeah, I think the baked ziti people look at it and they say, look at that melted cheese, look at those noodles, look at that meat, and they just say, yeah. I should have. Can I have a
It
bite?
shows up at every potluck, and people are happy with it.
I think it's a baked ziti. It's solid. It's hearty.
I thought you were going to say because you can go back a couple days later,
And that's
a week later,
Yeah.
and it's just as good, if not
There
maybe
we
for
go.
some reason even a little bit
Little bit
better.
better.
It grows on. It just grows and gets better, and that's
No.
what I think what this draft class is going to do.
Yeah.
And he's right. You really have set me up with this segment with the food
There
analogy.
we go.
Yeah.
I
I
think
don't like
Pat
that,
was
though.
vibing with me, and neither one of you
By
guys.
the end of the segment, he's going to be using that flosser he's got in his pocket there.
Ziti's full of deceit.
Well,
It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful on the outside. You're like,
full
that
of
thing is going to be
No.
so good. But the lies that it tells by its deception of art and beauty, you go into it, you eat it, it's not as good. Now you're saying that this draft is going to
No,
be
you,
deceiving.
no, you've,
No.
you've smeared baked ziti for one. Anyway,
You know what the thing is about the tasting menu? It's light. On the way home, you still need more. You go get that big scoop of
He'll
ice
never
cream.
stop now. He's trying to move on.
Who's
He'll
the big
never
scoop?
stop.
Is
Who's
that
the big
David
scoop
Walker?
ice cream?
No, Watson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a real.
Yeah.
That's a
Big
double
boy.
dipper.
That's the scoop right there.
All right. So outside of Baker Mayfield, in your opinion, who has to be the guy on this team? The most important Buccaneer in 2025, outside of your starting quarterback, is who? Either side of the ball.
I'm going to go Antoine Winfield Jr.
You think so?
Yeah, I
Needs
mean,
to be bounced
he's a big part of this team. And last year, he wasn't bad, but he wasn't Antoine Winfield Jr.
Injury played a role.
Yeah, absolutely, and the help around him too, for sure. But I think he has a big year this year, and he has to for this defense.
What food item is it? No, I'm sorry.
Well, you can do any. No, I'm kidding. You know what? It's funny because we had this debate on our show about the position that we're kind of concerned about most when it comes to depth.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with a guy at the position that he said when it comes to that, and that's inside linebacker. And to me, when you think about the difference last year in this defense after Servassier Dennis went down, it was drastic. And I think if Servassier Dennis can come back, remain healthy, and be the player he was early in the season last year, it means a lot to this defense. And I think for me, he's kind of quietly and secretly, he's kind of the guy that I think is massive this year when it comes to what he's going to be.
Not like a nice glass of Cavassier.
There we go again. Yeah. I know you guys have the schedule memorized, of course. We saw it come out a couple weeks ago. It got us all salivating and dreaming of games to be held in the future. What games popped off the page to you guys that are going to be those measuring stick games where we'll know what this team is capable of when it comes playoff time?
Memorized. What
is it?
Well, listen, Philadelphia, right?
Yeah,
Philadelphia comes to mind.
Yeah,
It's the defending Super Bowl champions coming to town here for what should be, I think, a great matchup.
And a September game, right? Fairly early, I believe.
Yeah, it is early
Yeah.
again.
Detroit.
Against
On the road, yeah.
Detroit's going to be an interesting one. I'd have to look. I did not memorize.
No, you're good. That's enough. At Buffalo, I think that'll be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about outside of Tampa Bay? All right, so I'm just going to ask you what your opinion is, personal opinion on Aaron Rodgers, and then I'm going to try to predict what you think the Steelers ought to do. What do you guys think about Aaron Rodgers personally? Like him? Don't like him?
I think he's out in left field right now.
Okay.
I think he's out in left field. I don't not like the guy. I think he's pompous. I think he loves him some Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
And he's in this weird phase of his life where he tries to act like he doesn't care, and he tries to act like his mind is free, and he took the ayahuasca, and he's just so clear. But he's not. He's just
So
like
I think
the rest
you
of us.
think the Steelers should sign him. That's
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I got from that.
Absolutely should.
Yeah, butterflies are not actually butterflies. I learned that from Aaron Rodgers, and that to me, like what do I think about him personally? Like I'd say what Aaron said. I don't necessarily dislike him. I don't know if I know him well enough to dislike him. He strikes me as an incredible blowhard, right? Like he seems like such a blowhard.
You think he should retire? That's what I'm That's what I'm picking up.
I will never say that a guy should retire because and you guys know this, we get to do what we love, and we understand, like, if we could only do this for such a short period of time, like, it'd be so difficult to make that decision. So I'm never going to push anybody in that direction, but I won't miss him when he does.
There we go.
As long as the team will take you, you
That
can
little
play,
thought
but
experiment
just like
thing worked.
stop messing around, like go play.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Bucs schedule, just back real quick. The end of it, a lot of warm weather games, not cold after Buffalo. Everything's pretty easy for them as far as warm weather, and to me that makes a big
That
deal.
helps,
That's
right?
the late season surge that we're predicting.
Who wins more games this upcoming season, the New England Patriots or Bill Belichick?
Oh, that's a great question.
Oh, Jordan Hudson.
Yeah, and is he getting married?
She's won the most for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to tie the knot.
I'm going to go with North Carolina.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Bill Belichick in North Carolina. I would assume, I mean, for those kids, bringing in a bunch of kids and getting them ready to play, they're good for some wins. The Patriots, that's like still a rebuilding process, and I think they're going to struggle once again, and I think they're going to get better under Vrabel, but it's going to take some time.
Mike Vrabel's already dealing with Stephon Diggs giving girls some kind of
Pink
substance on a
substance.
boat.
Never
Heard of that. I don't know what that's crazy.
I don't know.
Oh,
I think it was
that would be.
Pepto-Bismol.
Are you talking
Yeah,
about
Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah.
the
She
substance
was
itself?
seasick.
You haven't heard of? Oh,
Upsets,
all right.
tell me, yeah. What about up the road in Atlanta? Kirk Cousins. If you're Terry Fontenot, GM of the Falcons, do you trade Kirk Cousins in that guaranteed $100 million?
I'd wait on it because at this point, like you're going to be eating some of the money, right? And you're not going to get a whole lot in return. But wait until somebody's desperate, right? If you do it now, I don't think you're going to get the haul that you may if a team is doing okay, feels like they've got a shot, their quarterback goes down. If you were going to do it before now, you might as well have done it at the draft, right? And now at this point, wait until someone gets hurt.
It's going to happen. It's inevitable. We see it every year. And there's going to be a team that thinks they're a contender that's right there. And The Falcons are gonna have to eat some of that money, but at least it's gonna ease some of that a little bit.
He could be the backup plan in Pittsburgh. We'll see how it goes. This man is the tasting menu, and over here we got no hamburger helper. But what was your food again?
I don't know, but I'm gonna try a hamburger helper.
All right, yeah.
I'm gonna
He's
try
chicken
that.
nuggies guy. That's
You look like a
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Well, chicken fingers. Let's not disrespect
Okay.
chicken fingers. A little extra crispy.
All right, very good.
Fingers or tenders?
The
Either
people that say you can't call them fingers, they're tenders. That's not for me. I want the fingers. That's when they're good.
All right, there he
All
is.
right.
Pat and Aaron from the Pat and Aaron Show. Catch him weekday mornings over on 95.3 WDAE 620, gentlemen. Great to have you. Friends of the show.
Hall of
Coming up-
Famers.
Maybe, potentially. Rod could be.
nearly family. I'll take that.
We'll have to talk to Ira about that. All right, coming up on the other side, we're going to bring in the newest member of the Fox 13 Sports Department, one Mark Skol Jr. We're going to put him on the hot seat next. Welcome back to the No Off Days podcast. This is our fun block, and we're going to do things a little bit different. We have a brand new face to introduce the NODPOD audience to. This is Mark Skol Jr. Everybody give it up for Mark.
There he is, Mark.
So Mark
Thank
is
you.
the newest member of the Fox 13 Sports Department here in Tampa, and with that we say welcome. It's kind of been long overdue that we got you on the podcast, but welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I will say I didn't want to cover the Bucs. I didn't want to cover the Rays. All I wanted to do was be on the NODPOD.
There we go.
That's all I wanted.
Well, it only
so
took
finally
you
here.
3 weeks.
Yeah,
It's,
finally got
the
here.
other guy that you replaced. It took him like 18 years to get on this
It
thing.
did. It did.
So-
Well, yeah, we've lowered the threshold, but yeah, it's that was actually my number one concern when we were hiring this position. It's have you listened to the podcast? And so Mark, he did it. Flattery, is my love language.
I thought your number one concern was filling out the NODPOD volleyball team because he's a tall drink of water. I mean, what are we,
How
about
tall are you?
6'5"?
How tall are you?
6'4".
Okay, there we go.
6'4".
Yeah,
Outside hitter then.
Oh, I don't think you want me on your volleyball team. I got torn my ACL twice, so
Oh.
I don't think I have much bunnies.
Did you play
grow up
sports?
playing hoops?
Yeah,
Yeah.
playing basketball. Basketball. Played basketball, baseball. I quit baseball not because I didn't like it, not because I wasn't good, but it was not because I was tall to play basketball,
Yeah.
but because it was AC and for basketball. Baseball is so hot outside
go.
growing up in Texas, so it was nice to be inside with
What's
some
your
AC.
move? Are you post up guy?
Hook shot, shot,
Oh,
all the
big
way.
hook shot. You don't see
Unstoppable,
You're
unstoppable.
right.
You'll see at your local LA Fitness.
You really.
We need to get a little
Houston
team together.
Texas.
Houston.
Okay.
Houston, Texas,
But you're
yeah.
a Longhorn.
Longhorn, yes,
Okay.
Texas Longhorns. Hook 'em.
Got to be happy.
Going all the
with-
way this year, hopefully. Arch
yeah.
Manning, finally his time. Been waiting long enough.
Seems
We
like
will
it's
find
coming-
out.
We'll
Seems
see.
like it's coming together, especially since it's going to be a down year for the rest of the SEC. So,
Apparently.
I'm in Georgia.
Do you think Arch is going to be everything that people are hyping him up to be? I mean, I
don't
think
know.
if he was as good as they say he is, Quinn Ewers wouldn't have been starting a lot. this season.
I think Sark just really liked Quinn, and he wanted to respect him for being at Texas and didn't want to overpass him. But I do think Arch is the real deal. He was awesome in the few games that he played, but I do think he hasn't really played in a big-time game yet or done well. He did play in the Georgia game last year, had a fumble. So we'll see. I don't know.
They should have put
I'm
him in
excited
long
for him.
ago. I called for that about, a year and a half ago?
You did, yeah.
I did, and it didn't
When he was
happen.
still in high school.
Yeah, I think so. But I think that, he's gonna be great. I think he told Sark, "You got 1 year. It's
That's all you're getting."
when do you want to use me? When
Yeah.
I'm a little bit older, give me one. I'll transfer or I'll go to the NFL." So yeah, that's what you got. All right. So Mark, we're gonna we want to kind of get to know you a little bit, and so I've formulated a little game.
right.
Normally we would say, we'd put you. You've heard the phrase, "I put you through the ringer."
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna put you through the Kinger.
All right. I knew it was
Brian
going to be
King,
about Brian.
hop
It
in
had
here.
to be about
All
Brian.
right, so look, whenever you join a sports department, the most important person that you have to know is your producer, your executive producer, and that would be one Brian King. Look at him; he's all bashful. He's
How could you
blushing.
not want to get to know him?
All right,
Look at him.
So I'm going to ask you questions that you may not know. You may or may not know already. You've only been here for nearly a month, but if you don't know it, you need to know it. So
Okay.
are we ready?
Sounds
Brian
good.
doesn't know
Let's do
any
it.
of
I
these.
haven't heard these questions
No, he
at
hasn't
all,
heard
no.
them. Okay, so here we go. All right, what is BK's legal first name?
It's not Brian?
Oh,
It's got to be Brian, right?
it's not Brian,
No.
but he
Oh.
is named after his favorite golfer. What's your first name, Brian?
Scotty?
Thomas.
Thomas.
All right.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Why
It
why
is-
Brian?
Yeah, why'd you pick Brian when you could have been Thomas?
I was like the fourth Thomas in my family, and my mom did not want me to be.
You could have been Tommy.
Well, my dad was Tommy, so.
So is Brian the middle name, or you just pulled that one out of a hat?
No, Brian's the middle name.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I had no
for
idea.
1. 0 for 1. It's okay.
Oh, man,
you got time.
I'm gonna be 0 for sure.
What is BK's favorite band?
Man, well, see, this is what he gave me a hint that maybe they would ask this question.
Okay.
I have no idea. I'll just say Leonard Skinner because Sweet Home Alabama.
You would think so, but it is not. It is Aerosmith.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Am I right, BK?
Yeah, Aerosmith, Van Halen. I would take either one.
Okay.
Of those.
Yeah, Van Halen, and also I would have taken Prince. If you
Really?
get this guy going
All
on
right.
Prince, he just for whatever reason he loves that guy. All right. If not working through his dinner break, which he does often, where can you find BK if not at his desk?
At a Wawa getting a Wawa salad. I mean, he is. I've been here 4 weeks. He's done that at least 3 times a week. And he wasn't even here my first
Give
week.
you, all right, we'll give
That's
you
a good
we'll give you a
guess.
Give him
half
that one.
point, but the correct answer is
Napping?
Taking a power nap in my.
napping in his car.
Really?
Napping in his car.
Oh,
Yep.
his
If
place
you
of
can't
comfort.
if you can't find BK at his desk, I would go check his car before I would actually go look for him in the
I'm
bathroom.
sure there's security
Really?
video of me.
That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
only reason
Yeah.
he drives a minivan.
But-
so he can
but-
fully recline.
he's got a king size in there. You kidding me? Yeah. All right. So BK has a vanity plate on his personal vehicle. Without giving away the full plate, provide one of the words in his vanity plate. You're looking at me like you've never heard of this before.
No, I mean,
Okay.
what, Bama? I don't know.
Very close.
Yeah, very close.
Tide?
Tide.
Yeah.
Tide is in his. We're not going to give away. Don't worry, BK. He's sweating for a minute. All right. Brian has a lovely wife and 2 very smart daughters. Can you provide at least one of the colleges that his daughters attend?
I know
or
this one.
attends?
Florida. One
There
of
you
those
go.
is
Yeah,
Florida.
very good.
Yep.
And he's also got a UCF grad.
UCF grad.
Yeah, she goes to UCF. He said USC, but that's
No.
not correct. I know your daughter's better than you do. All right, BK spends much of his time in edit bay in the sports department. If the door is closed in the edit bay, what does that indicate?
Well, I just asked you that question before
You
he
did.
came
That's
out
why I
here.
didn't want to answer it because I didn't want to give you any lead.
I don't know. I mean, he's not napping because he does that in his car.
Yeah.
He's not eating a
He
salad.
doesn't. He
He's-
doesn't
he's
nap. He doesn't.
Probably
nap in the
like
edit bay.
watching some Prince music videos and shedding a tear every now and then.
Okay. Should we give him
That's
a
my
point
guess.
for that, BK?
I guess.
All right. The correct answer is that he's annoyed.
No,
It's
not.
he's either
Scott
yes,
has annoyed him.
he's either annoyed.
Tornadoes or hurricanes?
He's either I would say to 95% accuracy, he's either annoyed or he's taking a phone call.
The phone call is it 99% of the time.
That's what it means.
I don't
Okay.
know about that. All
This
right.
is what it sounds like when doves cry. I like the Prince guess. That was a good one.
BK recently injured his back. What activity led up to this injury?
Oh man, I know he's talked about it. He was putting up his fence, right?
That is correct.
Put up his fence.
That is
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
BK, sorry, what?
We would accept breakdancing too.
He did actually pay for that at one point.
He had
took
breakdance.
breakdancing
Really?
lessons.
If you've listened to this podcast
Yeah,
like you
you
say
would
you
know.
have, then you know that.
I haven't listened to all of them. I've made my way through about 20 of them, maybe.
All right.
Okay,
Can
that's
I
good.
ask a question? I got
Yes.
one. Based
Yeah,
on
yeah.
episode 37. What are BK's toes shaped like?
Corn nuts. Well, I don't know.
There are corns on them. But it's not.
Can we give him points for that?
Sure, why not?
Okay, all right.
Do I want to know the answer to this question?
It is a food. Curled. How do you describe it?
Baby shrimp?
Baby shrimp. Yeah. Peel and eat.
I don't think I ever want to see those feet.
No.
I don't think I want to see
I think
those
it's just
figgies.
on one foot. He is. That's just his baby shrimp toe foot.
But I can pick up things with it.
He changes the channels. Yeah, on the remote. Okay, so BK's YouTube comfort food is what?
YouTube comfort food.
Where does he-
peas. He was eating a lot of peas the other
Well,
day.
not. It's not a food related question. It's just an analogy, Mark. It's what does he go to? What does he watch frequently on YouTube to fill his time?
Oh, I don't know.
There's again a variety of options here, but there's one in particular that we're looking for.
I'm going to be boring here and just say Bama highlights. I don't know.
He doesn't do that. No, he's nodding, but that's not true. What does he watch?
He loves lawn care videos.
Lawn care videos.
You know what?
Guys
I do
cutting
too.
grass.
I love
Oh, there you go.
lawn
There
care
we go.
and then power washing videos. It's
Yeah.
so relaxing. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
That.
right,
You
good.
guys have
There
something
we
in
go.
common.
That's
All right,
awesome.
You've nailed one of them, so I hesitate to ask this question, but I'm going to do it anyway. BK eats pretty much the same thing for dinner every night. Outside of salad, what would that one item be?
It's not the peas, right?
What are these peas you
He
keep talking
had these peas the other week, and it looked gross.
Just eating a bowl of peas
With his
in
toes.
the edit bay with the door closed.
Chicken.
I don't know.
Chicken.
He's
All
big. Yeah, he loves baked chicken. All right, or grilled. All right, so I'm going to give you a list of to-dos around the house. You tell me whether or not BK is going to do it himself or call an expert, okay? Do it or call an expert. Cleaning the dryer vent.
I mean, you can't call an expert for that. That's too easy, right?
I don't know.
That's
You
easy.
tell me.
He's got to do that himself.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, he does
Yes,
it himself.
all myself.
Yeah. What about bathroom plumbing? Got an issue with bathroom plumbing.
I bet he does it himself.
BK?
To an extent, yeah. I had a leak under the bathroom this year. I did not
He's
touch.
going to call an expert. That's what
Yeah.
he's going to do. All right, pressure washing. You got to do it. If you're a homeowner in Florida, you got to do that every year. Is he going to do it himself or is he going to call a guy?
Well, if he likes watching the lawn mowing videos, I'm assuming he likes the power washing videos, and he likes to do that too.
Indeed.
So, yeah, I'd say
Indeed, he will do it himself.
Who doesn't like to
what
power
about
wash?
some tree trimming? Is he going to do it himself or is he going to call an expert?
I know he has. I don't know if he's changed his tune now because he said that he saw a snake up there one time. So
I
I don't
like
know
this
if
guy. He
he's
pays
changed
attention.
his tune on it, but I'd say he probably stopped after he saw a snake up there. That's my guess.
He's doing it himself.
Yeah.
As best he can. I know
Yeah.
that. He's got all the. What about replacing a hose bib, Mark? Is he going to do that himself or is he going to call an expert?
See, I feel like the only reason you're asking that question is because he's calling an expert. So he's calling an expert on it.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right. I just want to be clear in this game. This is not some veiled attempt to jab BK. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So BK has disclosed some personal deformities. We mentioned one. Name the other body part.
How closely?
What
have you
other
listened-
body parts can I even name?
Oh, there are a couple.
The elbow. I don't know.
Come on, you got to give him a little bit of a
It's
hint.
something that comes in a pair.
Normally.
Normally.
I plead the fifth. He's got two elbows. Two elbows.
Oh, we're going to pass that. We're going to pass on that one. Go back to episode 17 for it. All right. What Alabama football coach did BK get a chance to work with?
Work with. I mean, there's
Coach's
not many.
show.
There's not many great ones besides Saban. I guess Bear Bryant too, but I'll go Bear. Bear.
Man,
Just a little bit before Brian's time. It would be one Gene Stallings.
correct.
And finally, my last question in our run through the Kinger. What object did BK get hit in the head with at an Alabama football game?
I know this one.
Oh. So I would say I would lean towards football, but I'm gonna say I'll just go football.
Let's go with football. Did you get hit in the head with a football, BK?
Not really. I've been hit with a football, but not in this case.
No?
This was at Ole Miss, and got hit with a whiskey bottle thrown from the stands.
I was gonna guess
Whiskey
football.
bottle.
Knocked me out.
Yeah.
Back when they let
In the
people
head?
bring their own bottles.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about that? There we go. Mark, welcome to the
Good job.
team. I think
Glad to be
he
here,
got
man.
run through the
Thank
Kinger,
you.
as did Brian King. Apologies for that, Brian. I'll be apologizing
Well, that's good.
later.
Enjoyed it.
Very good. That'll do it for the show. Much thanks to Pat and Aaron and Mark, and we got Rochelle over here on the jib. We got Chris on the ones and twos, and is Ronnie in today? I don't know who's working audio, but if it's Ron, we thank you. Hat tip, and much thanks to my co-host Chris for BK. I'm Scott. Until the next time we're on, there are no off days.
Did he make you come in on your day off?
I did come in on my
See,
off
there's
day.
no off.
Yeah. No off days on that.